It is debatable, but for what V2 is doing, Garuda is better.
Right. Certainly, you know, there's a particular upper limit of damage that you can get, and you can pull followers with White Wing, whereas Garuda must interact with amulets. But we'll see how all that turns out. Very interesting. We haven't really seen a Stormhaven list at all in recent times, so let's see Vetu, a more creative deck builder here, and let's see if Jaze can match up to it, guys.
So, as I mentioned earlier when Les was playing, I actually opt for the Aether of the White Wing into the Moon Owl Mirage package more than Garuda now, just because it gives you super late game potential with Taurus the Great especially. But this is hark back to original tempo. The reason why this is good is because, especially against a deck like D-Shift, is it doesn't have natural followers, right? All of its followers are built into amulets that you can't answer immediately, and that's kind of like the different strength of this deck. He's playing Minus, he's playing White Tigers. You know, all of the amulets that create things, it's very hard to evo into those things, the amulets specifically, and it's very hard to target the White Tigers and the Minus. So it's trying to evade everything while just pushing as much damage as fast as it possibly can, and this is a great matchup for it.
Well, Jay-Z is, not only did he go first, but he also went with Conjure Guardian. He knows what he's playing against. He knows, because you see the deck list. So he's like, okay, you know what? I need to get this ward down now, so that I can actually deal with this White Tiger. Like, he needs to actually be able to deal with it because he can't use any of his spells on it. Can't be targeted. Okay? So he has to be able to deal with that. And being able to use this Guardian tree... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, realistically, he has to. With the opening hand that he had, there's nothing else to do except for trying to spell boost as much as possible. Plus, the simple fact that it was a great play against, you know, a pre... you know, say Minu or a White Tiger or something like that. Just really heads up play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, his hand's not particularly stellar.
Right.
Against the Stormhaven deck. At all. It's not that stellar.
Realistically, V2 didn't do a whole lot in the early game, right? He doesn't have a Beast Call down. No, he didn't get a Pinion Prayer down early. Next turn, he will be able to play a Bird Keeping Disciple, which is really good push and tempo.
Well, there's another White Tiger. He could opt to play the Pinion Prayer into the White Tiger. He could even, if he's bold, I mean, I don't know why he would do this, but he could pre-evo that White Tiger.
That's a hard decision because we know that Owl exists. Now, pre-evoing the Bird Keeping Disciple, I wouldn't be against.
That's fair.
Because that's not easily dealt with by Chimera unless you evo it. Yeah, and V2 is thinking the same way against me. So like I said before, use your evo points against D-Shift because if you lose the game and you have evo points left over, you're going to feel real salty, okay?
Well, he does have the ability to kill that. He can actually just simply Fiery Embrace it. Because he's using the sword cast on that. The problem with Jay-Z's hand is he doesn't really have a way to start setting up to win the game outside of this Chimera, so he's basically relying on that to win.
And that's going to be a while. However, he does have Chimeras, right? This will be able to out-tempo, but like we said before, not like other decks, these Chimeras aren't always going to be able to wipe the boards because a lot of these followers are hidden under amulets.
Yeah. So if he plays the Chimera right now, he'll have generated some tempo. I don't know why he would play the Chimera right now when he has a Fire Embrace, but he would be able to generate some tempo, but he'd have to use an Evo point to kill that. And then, of course, we see next turn that he's got the Pinion Prayer popping, and he has a Garuda in hand.
Well, Magic Missile can pair up with a Chimera to deal with this without using an Evo point, but realistically, I don't even know what the Evo points are going to be saved for other than trying to just eke out a win in the end game. Realistically, V2 has a ton of time to win this game, and he has Dark John at the ready. He's got Garuda, he's got Taurus, he's got another Pinion Prayer if he's got a play point left over on a turn. I feel like V2's in a very strong position in this game.
Well, I think that at some point or another, this White Tiger will definitely come into effect. Obviously not right now, but at some point it'll come into effect because that, again, not being able to be targeted very important versus D-Shift. And as we can see, again, Jaze's hand is, it's not really looking much better.
It's lacking.
At all.
But D-Shift can always find a way. D-Shift is one of these crazy decks that can find really good tempo turns. That's like kind of, we've talked about it a little bit in different days, but you can honestly just do something like old Daria did and play like, you know, double Chimera plus like 2 wards and maybe even a D-Shift on a turn, or not even with the D-Shift, and just present this huge board out of nowhere and then set up a D-Shift for the following turn. So I would never count D-Shift out, but like you said, his hand's not great, and it's going to take a lot for him to really win this game.
This is a massive tempo turn for Vetu. The question becomes, what is he worried about? And I don't really think he's worried about much. I mean, we do see 2 Chimeras. They can come down, clear out the 2 guys, and he can clear the board. Actually, he can definitely clear the board now.
That magic missile's perfect.
Yeah, without using any evos, he can clear this board. But
this might be the turn I was talking about. This might be it.
Yeah. Yep.
This might be magic missile into double Chimera, into, you know, hopefully I can get to turn 9 to play my giant Chimera, and hopefully my opponent can't deal with my tempo.
Right. Unfortunately,
I don't see a better
hand,
line here.
Well, no. Vetu's hand is not amazing right now. After this board gets cleared, what does he have? He has the Pinion Prayer, so he can easily Hollow Dogma that and just continue putting on pressure. But he doesn't really have much else, and he won't be able to deal with these Chimeras. Yeah, they're just going to come down and sit there.
He does have options, though. Like, White Tiger will be able to block at least an attack from 1. Pinion Prayer can come out underneath a Hollow Dogma to finish one off. After that happens, Dark John is also there to clear afterwards. But this is exactly what I was talking about. It didn't look like Jaze had a great hand, but there's a single good tempo turn can really just shift the course of the game.
Well, right now, this is not looking good for V2. Like, I don't know how he exactly deals with this.
I don't think it's a terrible situation for V2. Again, he can play Taurus to deal with one of these a turn after. He can Evo this turn to clear out something. Again, he still has the Pinion Prayer plus the Hollow Dogma to even clear out the Golem if he wants to. I'm not saying it's a good position. I'm just saying it's not a terrible one.
Looks pretty terrible to me. This is not a position I want to be in if I'm playing Stormhaven.
Realistically, it just comes down to, you know, V2 had the edge the entire game. However, his early game presence didn't deal enough damage for that Taurus to really threaten lethal by turn 8, which is not the spot you want to be in.
Yeah. Yep. So, I'm a little worried for him. He's thinking real hard, and he could possibly draw something off of these Hollow Dogmas. He could just go, you know what, I'm gonna play this beast called Arya, double Dogma. I don't know why in the world you would do that, but he could. And hope to draw something. He could just play a Pinion Prayer and Dogma and draw something off of that. And have a few more play points to mess with.
Yeah, I think the play this turn is to... Ooh, okay.
Okay.
This presents more damage to face, but it does set up for a better endgame. I don't mind this at all.
Huh. Well...
My play, I think, would have been Pinion Prayer into Dogma to deal with the Golem, into a White Tiger Evo, and possibly just pass or even trade, and then have the White Tiger to trade off again. Realistically, because the only thing I'm thinking of is they play 1 Flame Destroyer, 3 Chimeras. My opponent already played all of his Chimeras. The only thing he can really beat me with is his Giant Chimera. Does he really have it in his hand also? Is it really that big yet? I'm not actually worried if I'm V2 about dying. We know that that Giant Chimera is in hand, but it's not at 18 yet. However, this Chimera being able to hit face is huge. This basically means now that Giant Chimera just way up in value.
Well, to be fair, it was the best way for him to take the most damage off the board.
This wasn't. V2 did not take the most damage. The play that I suggested would have taken the most damage because it wouldn't have pumped the Chimera. Essentially, you Hollow Dogma to kill,
that's true.
kill the
That's
2/2,
true. That's true.
and then you Evo the only follower that you can in your hand to kill the 4/4 without pumping the other 4/4.
That's fair. That's fair. You're right. Well, that is going to be 8 to your dome piece. Ouch.
Yep.
It hurts a lot.
And then Taurus has to be played.
Yeah, there's no way that Giant Chimera does. I'm pretty sure Giant Chimera.
If it doesn't, this triple ward setup is going to get it there by next turn.
Yeah.
Along with a sorcery cache, like there's absolutely no way. It looks like it's already enough.
Oh no, he's definitely got it. Yeah.
3 and 12. Boom,
Man.
bam, Jaze.
Yep, that feels awful, man.
So here's something we didn't talk about.
Sure. Go.
No, go ahead. Keep talking about this game. I'm gonna go into something else outside of this game.
I was just gonna say that. So this feels really bad. So you're playing Stormhaven. It's a favorable matchup for you. You get squashed.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. See, this is why I don't like playing Amulet Tempo Haven instead of playing just straightforward Tempo Haven, especially with Aether now, is because the Amulets don't always work for you, right? Like, early in the game, if you get the right curve, they can be perfect. Later in the game, they don't do anything. They literally sit in your hand, you have to have a Garuda in hand to make them work, or Hollow Dogma, and all of these cards that just don't deal damage and don't get into play. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to continuously deal damage. Now, the one thing I was going to say is Control Blood got banned. Now, do you think that was a targeted ban for Jaze because of his success with it? I don't think we've seen Jaze actually lose with Control Blood in any of the weeks he's played it.
I don't think we've seen that either. So it might be a just, you know what, Jaze, you can't have this.
Right, I might be playing, you know, Haven and Dragon and decks that can beat Blood, and I'll suffer through your PDK because I know I probably won't beat your Control Blood.
Right. Yeah, Control Blood. Jaze has performed very well with Control Blood in every single match we've seen him in. And as you said, I don't think we've seen him drop a game with it.
We haven't even seen him really make a mistake in all of the games, which is hard because you make a ton of choices when you're playing Control Blood, and he just plays it very smoothly. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing with it. He knows exactly when he needs to end the game. It just feels really comfortable for him.
He's like, I have mastered Control Blood, thank you.
That's right.
Okay, well, we're gonna see. Well,
we actually get to see, I feel like, the full potential of what Vetu's deck can do. He's got 2 Amulets popping next turn. He can play Ephemera this turn, and realistically just get in there. He's got Dance of Death to set up for next turn just to deal more damage and push. He can also just play other followers with a Heavenly Hound to kind of stuff up some damage while pushing face.
Yeah,
I don't think there's another
guess
here.
No, I think you play Ephemera and pass. I don't think you do.
Unfortunately, here's another thing about not playing actual followers. He hasn't been able to do anything about Jaze's board.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I personally do not, even though I love Stormhaven, I don't play it because I do not like not being able to do anything about my opponent's followers. I gotta sit there with Countdown and then hope I get a Dogma. If I don't get a Dogma, I'm waiting until turn 5 until my amulets pop. Like, I don't like that.
Especially on this turn, you feel it the most because you're on an Evo turn, and realistically, you don't have anything you want to Evo. I mean, you want to play that Ephemera so that you can push for lethal damage over the course of a few turns, but if you Evo it and trade, and not only are you ramping Jaze, but you're exposing Ephemera, and decides not even to go with Ephemera.
I don't know, man.
Really feels like he needs to take some damage off the board, but realistically, when he does a play like this, it feels like I don't really know how he's going to be able to do it anymore. That Beast Call is essentially a dead play. That's not going to come in as a big factor this game, I don't believe. Right. The second one, and playing that Heavenly Hound, which is one of your only wards in the deck to prevent damage. I don't know.
It kind of feels like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like he's kind of at a loss, right? He's like, all right, well, I can't do anything because I don't have any followers. So what do I do? You know, and he didn't get his early game followers. He didn't get White Tigers. He didn't get Miners. You know, we got Beast Call Arias, and this is exactly why I stopped running Beast Call Aria on like every deck. Okay, like every one of them, because I absolutely detest detest getting Beast Call Ario on the draw. I can't stand it at all.
Now, here is something though. If V2 can manage to basically what we know is possible. Jaze doesn't have fortes and things to finish the game out. But V2 is just like, okay, I can set up Dark Johns. That's coming out. How do I navigate this game to where I just don't lose next turn, and these Dark Johns just start pushing me into lethal range over the course of the next 2 turns? You know what's weird? I never actually thought about it, but Ephemera with Amulets also stuffs up more of your board. It's another card that just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
That eats up a board slot. It's interesting.
It is definitely that. And this Breath of the Salamander is pretty juicy.
Pretty juicy.
Yeah. That
now, no PDK board drawn for Jay-Z, along with no Fortes, so no real way to get rid of this Ephemera, but not going to be a huge thing because Ephemera has nothing to pump next turn.
Right. Like, what is it pumping? There's no Beast Call Pop. Dark John can't attack directly. He has, I believe that's Opinion Prayer in the corner. I can't tell, but if that is Opinion Prayer, he doesn't have a Hollow Dogma. And well, there's the Minu I mentioned. That
here's a turning point right here. Because Jay-Z didn't have PDK, and because he didn't have a removal spell for that Ephemera, that Ephemera is going to be able to hit face. Vetu's going to be able to clear board. And now Jay-Z's actually on the back foot. And I said that Beast Call wasn't going to come into play, but against Bahamut, that's actually perfect.
That's exactly it is actually very perfect. Yeah, that's very perfect. Because now what that does is he can't play Bahamut. The Bahamut will pop the Beast Call, leaving the Storm card because I'm pretty sure he would end up evoing and take up the Tiger. So he can't do that. So he has to do this. And this feels incredibly subpar in comparison.
It does. But now, with the play that Jay-Z made, very, very well played. I mean, Fervor to gain the life back, clear the entire board. The second Dark John doesn't feel as good. It's still probably going to get played here.
It'll probably get played after he hits him in the face. And then he can actually play the other amulets, which is more Bahamut protection.
Right. I don't know if I would have played Globe here. I think I would have played something that actually dealt damage. I don't know why the Globe play was made instead of, say, Opinion Prayer. I don't think he needs card draw.
He does have more play points to mess with, and he's actually not playing the Dark John. He's going to play the... Okay, all right. I'm not against this.
With Opinion Prayer? Come on.
Yeah, come on, man. Play the Opinion Prayer.
Come on.
You can do it. It's just taking the mouse, putting it on the Opinion Prayer.
Honestly, his thought is, I want a board space open possibly for Dark John. I think he's going to get it regardless of what happens. Okay, there we go.
There's no way that Jay-Z can leave up this on the board.
But now he has options.
He does have those. He has that. Ooh. Well, he has a PDK with the Fire Lizard and an Ivory Dragon.
So he's got lethal over 2 turns now, with an ability to board clear.
Yep. Ugh, man. PDK, man.
Good card.
Yeah. Care to touch?
So this is where you evo the Prime Dragon Keeper into the Tiger, and you play your Fire Lizard to clear board. Ooh, whoa. Doesn't do that.
Care to touch?
That. Whoa. Well, he can still kill it though, because he has the Blazing Breath.
He can, but he had to get lucky to do it this way.
Yeah. He got really lucky. Really lucky on that one.
Because if he didn't kill this Tiger, the Tiger face plus Dance of Death would have set up lethal for V2 over 2 turns, and not give Jay-Z lethal over 2 turns himself. So, very important that he drew that Blazing Breath. Now, he might even opt to not kill it here, which I feel like would be a grave mistake.
He's thinking real hard. Oh my goodness. He's like, I know you can't deal with this. And he would be wrong.
Well, okay, but this does set up a different type of plan. So if that Tiger does not trade with the 1-2, then Jay-Z will win. But I feel like you have to know Fortes exist, and the Evo point's still sitting there, so you kind of have to play defensively, especially because you have more things popping soon.
Yeah, he knew it. He's like, no, man, you're not catching me with that, bro.
Nope. Not killing the tiger now. Ugh.
Well, he does still have Forte, so he can play the Fire Lizard into the Blazing Breath to take out the tiger, play Forte, and he can.
I think that is the only play. Yeah.
Yeah. And he does, and Vetu does have the he does have Dark Jean, so he will actually be able to clear it. Unless
if that Forte does not get evolved,
yeah,
it will die a horrible death. If it does, then I don't think V2 has a way to clear it out.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out.
Yes, we are. So far, both players playing perfectly, honestly. Just like understanding every situation. Jaze, of course, right on cue, makes the correct Evo.
Yep. Oh, Forte, how you make me sad. Fortes make me sad. Oh, no.
And yeah, that'll be it. Right before all the amulets pop, a way to deal with Forte. Jay-Z knows it.
This feels terrible.
There it is. Jay-Z will be the second player in North America to make it to the World Grand Prix. As expected, Manasurge's Jay-Z continues to demonstrate why he is a consistent two-time back-to-back Shadowverse Open winner. My God.
On point plays every single turn. It's tough to beat